Everything is changing in business because of AI. And today we're talking about how you can capitalize on that, but also how you don't get behind with everyone moving in one direction. How do you differentiate yourself? How do you stand apart from the masses and the mediocrity that's out there and really become an iconic business, iconic brand, an iconic personality so you can make the money, have the freedom, and the power that you really want to have in your own business. That's what we're talking about today. And there's a way to do it. This is one of those pivotal shows that you want to watch here on Iconic TV Live and watch it again and again and again. Why? Because it is the differentiator. If you don't find a way to completely stand out from everybody else, you are going to be lost in a sea of sameness. This is a 4-part series, and I want you to mark your calendars every week at this time. We come here live every Tuesday at 5 p.m., and this is part 1. I want you to really pay attention because this, I think, is the most important part, and I have a whole bunch of free gifts for you at the end, and I'm going to also put them down below. So if it's your first time here, please let me know and go ahead and subscribe or log in or whatever you need to do to make sure that you're going to get all of this. What we're talking about today is how you can actually start your own show or your talk. And where are you going to dominate? You're going to dominate and boost your brand and your visibility by taking center stage. That's really what this is about today. And like I said, AI is changing everything in business. Even if you're not using it, it is going to have an impact on your business. And this is something that happens. People think, oh, well, I'm not interested in that, or I don't do that. I don't need to think about that. Because it affects so many other businesses and people, it's going to affect your business and your clients. And if you want to grow your business, you definitely need to pay attention to this. We do a lot with businesses on helping them build an AI-powered business. And there's a lot to that, but you don't have to do this all yourself. And this is not just about AI. This actually is about you, okay? This is really what can you do? Not what can you clone and copy, but how do you stand out and become differentiated from everybody else? So let's dive into this a little bit more and go into why this is important. Why are we talking about this now? And it's because people are having a hard time figuring out what the changes are that are coming in business and how do they take advantage of them. So here's the thing. With AI, there's a good side to AI. It's everywhere, right? And there's a good side. It's going to speed things up. It's going to save you time, money. Your business can grow faster. And there's a lot of wonderful ideas that are going to come out of this, right? The challenge, and there's a challenge here, is that there is also a dark side, okay? And this is a big dark side. The big dark side is that you could become a commodity. And this is the scary part. This is where you really need to pay attention. Some people think, oh, this isn't going to happen to me. I'm not going to be commoditized. Well, when everyone starts to get on a bandwagon, right? And everybody's in what they call the red ocean, and you don't stand out anymore. And you saw this happen during the pandemic, where suddenly people who never had anything, they went and took their business online and they blew up, right? Or a lot of people got into different industries. A lot of people got into the coaching space. You see 23-year-old life coaches, right? Because the market timing and the change in the market and the industries all push people in that direction. And so you want to figure out, how do I stay ahead of this? And because AI is coming, there's a big downside to it. And that is that anybody can be cloned. You know, we've cloned my voice. I can clone my movements. I could actually clone this. I could actually not be here. And the problem is people are adding on and catching on to this. And now it's unique, but eventually everybody's going to do it. And what if everybody starts to do it? What does that do for your business? So here's the interesting fact, is that less than 7% of businesses have adopted AI so far. That's not really that much. It's 6.8% to be exact. And so it's still unique, right? But the challenge is that in the next 6 months, the amount of businesses that are using AI is going to increase 50%. And so now more and more and more people are doing it. And then again, you become commoditized, you don't stand out. And so now it just becomes a convenience, something that you almost have to do. But it still doesn't allow you to separate yourself from everybody else. The few people that are leading with this now are doing great, right? And have you noticed a lot of people now put AI in their titles and in their roles? And I'm an AI expert. You know, it's been pretty new, but the people that are doing that are starting to get ahead. So how do you differentiate yourself when all of this is coming along, but not let yourself get falling farther and farther behind because you're not utilizing it? So let's take a look at what we're talking about. If you want to be in business for the long term, you need to play the long game. How many of you are thinking about that? Are you thinking about, oh, I just want the latest fad and then the next thing? Or you're like, okay, I'm ready to play a long game. I want to be different. I want to set myself apart from everybody else. That's what you really need to do in this day and age. So how do you break out from the ordinary? How do you stand out from everybody else that is out there? And how do you build the 7-figure year? And that's what we're really known for, is building you out a 7-figure year. And there's a 7-figure CEO formula. And you can do this in a year. You can have a 7-figure business and you can have it in a year, okay? And you really want to elevate your mind and then skyrocket your business. That's how simple it is, okay? If you simplify your business, which is what AI is doing, then you're going to be able to take advantage of a lot of these principles and maxims that we're going to talk about today. So what we're going to do is show you how to become famous in 4 hours. And we're also going to break this down into 4 different parts, okay, so that you can really boost. Today we're talking about boosting your brand and boosting your visibility, because if people can't find you, if they don't see you, how are they ever going to buy from you? So this is one of the simplest ways to double your income. This is how we've made millions year upon year upon year, and how we show our clients to do that. And quite frankly, the more you speak, the more you make. It's really that simple. That's why we're talking about this in part 1. So what are the 4 parts we're going to cover in this series? Number 1 is get seen. I'm going to show you how to do that today. Get heard, how to get read, and how to get paid. If you've ever heard of something called a triple threat, that's what we're going to show you how to do. That's, if you've heard of that in Hollywood, like we're talking about really boosting your celebrity factor. How do you actually become known as a celebrity in your field rather than a copycat? And if you become a true celebrity in business, people can't copy you. If you are just an AI addict, people can copy you. You have to start separating yourself and becoming iconic. And so what you want to do is be both iconic and invincible, so that nobody is going to attack that you have. You need to build this moat around your business so that you will always stand ahead of the crowd. What we're going to teach you is really solidifying that brand, and you want to build your platform. These are the 4 parts that we're going to talk about. That platform is where you speak and where your show is. That's where you want to do that. That's how you're going to get seen. Now you need to get heard. How about building your own podcast? You need to get read. These are all your publications. A book. If you don't have a book, my goodness, in this day and age, you can do a book really quickly. We teach classes on how to build a real book in 13 weeks, start to finish. And it's not just an AI book. This is a book about you and your words and everything. And even if you've never learned how to, spell, and since kindergarten, you can do this. And then you become a triple threat. And this is so powerful. You can't just do one. You don't have a one-legged stool, right? The best power and the best stability is a 4-legged stool. And that's what you're going to be doing and building with your brand. That's what we're going to show you exactly how to do. So who is this for? This is for you if you're new and you don't have a show. You don't have a keynote speech or a talk or a platform that you can get on and have people see you to increase your visibility. And maybe you're just too afraid to, and you're like, I'm like everybody else, I have a fear of public speaking. If that's you, this is perfect for you. So I want to stay tuned. And if you have an existing platform, an existing show, or an existing talk, and maybe you're on a speaking circuit, this is also for you. But maybe you're realizing it's kind of going downhill. Things are changing really quickly in that speaking market. And maybe you don't have the reach and the impact and the ROI that you used to. And maybe you're finding it's just too hard to go out and do it. So we're simplifying everything, because if you can have your whole show built in 4 hours, it's amazing. There's no reason why you wouldn't want to do this and keep moving forward. And that's what we're doing. And I also want you to think about this. I want you to think about going live, because you can turn on YouTube. You can take what is the hottest topic on YouTube right now, and you can type that into YouTube, and you will see about 100 different shows on the exact same thing. All right. Maybe a politician goes on a talk show or something like that, and you'll see 100 people making that same video. Exact same thing. That's not distinguished. That's not different. And so you can't do that. Just making a faceless series of videos will never make you a business. It might make you go viral for a minute, and it might make you interesting for a minute, but it will not build a business. And we're talking about building an iconic business that becomes a legacy that you can keep. You can sell it if you want to, but you're probably doing too well with it. You wouldn't even want to sell it. That's how fun it's going to be. So think of it like a 4-hour workshop, okay? Where you can script everything and you can launch your own show just after learning the techniques for 4 hours. So here is the point. Here's what I'm trying to get you to understand, is that speed counts. And right now, this is the best time for us to adopt this. A lot of people couldn't move quickly, but now with AI, you really can. And you can take these principles that are actually timeless, and now we can incorporate the latest technologies and really magnify your growth and your velocity and your trajectory as far as where you can take your business. So here's what I want you to understand. Video, video, video. We know this. The year of the video is here. You have to do video. No video, no business. Okay? I just want you to think about, how do you make yours different? Not just faceless. Don't just be lazy. It should be a part of your business. It should be a part of you, because you have a really unique message, a unique way about you as a business owner, and you want people to see that. Who you are as a human, the essence of you cannot be duplicated. And that's what you need to get off and across to the public, okay? So you see, if you don't own your business, it owns you. And most people are trying to do this, but it's taking over everything, okay? You need to figure out, how do I do this? And then why do I need this? Most people say, do I even need to do this? I can get by without it, okay? Number one, you're going to get more visibility, which means you get more leads. Number one thing, people come to us when they say, hey, I need to make more money in my business. And they come to us, right? That's what we're known for. And I say, what's the biggest problem you have? Leads. Okay, well, then you have a visibility problem. You're also more credible. A lot of people have imposter syndrome. If you have more credibility and authority, you will get more clients and you will get better clients. The third thing is, you'll obviously, as a result of this, become more profitable, which means you're making more money, you have more freedom of choice, and then you can control your time and you can control your freedom. It's so simple, but it starts with a show. And so why don't people do shows? It's super easy. They think, well, I don't know how to do it right, so I'm not going to really do it. Or they're too afraid of doing it wrong. Okay, so we're going to show you how to do it right, how to not worry about doing it wrong. And I'm going to show you every piece that you need in order to make this work. And there are several components. You can't miss out on one of them. You got to do all of them. So stay tuned and watch this, okay? Now, if you need any help, all you have to do is ask us. Go to kalkani.com and we will help you build this out, okay? So there's an exchange here, right? Things are going to change here. And what you need to do is To make all of this work, you need to have the confidence. You need to have the charisma. That's that it factor that I can't teach you. It's in you. Okay, we can pull it out, but you can't buy that. You can't AI that. And then courage. You need to have the courage to do this. Okay, you can't just sit back. And trust me, you can look at all kinds of people online and you're thinking, why are they doing that? If they can do it, you can do it. Okay. And the courage comes from knowing that you have the tools and the resources to be able to do this and not fall flat on your face. Here's a maxim I want you to understand is that simplicity reigns. It's all about keeping it simple. If you are making it too complex, it's never going to stick. You're never going to continue. You need to get rid of the stress and the struggle and the sacrifice that it takes to make this happen. I know the messaging out there right now is be everywhere all the time. And there's an aspect of truth to that. But there's also a concept when it comes to having your own show and your own stage. And you might do both. You might have a show and be on stage. And some of you just love being on stage. Okay. Whichever one you're doing, less is still more. Okay. If you get out there too much, you could become saturated and then people will get bored of you. So keep it simple. And when you get started, right, there's a way to cut the timeline in half of this whole process, right? When you get started, it's crickets, right? There's nobody watching you. And that's okay because you're probably not good. And then what happens, people start to check in like, I'm kind of curious what's happening here. And then they become committed. They're like, oh, that's good. I'm going to keep checking in. Or not everybody can be live when you're live. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the vanity metrics because these are tools and resources to grow your business. You're not just trying to grow Insta famous or YouTube famous and be an influencer because most of them are broke. They don't actually have a business that has any kind of solid foundation. And that's what we're here to teach you. Okay. So again, if you need some help, go to callconnie.com. Happy to ask, have you ask any questions and just figure out in 10 minutes, what do I need to do? Which way do I go? We'll point you in the right direction and then your business can take off. So strategy and system. Okay. This is what I want you to understand. So how do you build this show? This is really important. This is what we call the Hollywood icon script. So how do you become an icon? You need to figure out there's a process to this. All right. And so I'm going to show you this process really quick. Here's the 6 steps and parts that you're going to put together so that you can make an incredible show. So let's dive deeper into this. Okay. So these are the 6 steps. The first step is you need to do the prep. Don't just wing it. It's not going to work. Figure out the prep, and that's going to be the prep of the content, the prep of the audience, the platform, the topic, timing, where are you going to do it? There's a lot that goes into the prep. This is really, really important to make this work. And then you have your hook. What's the hook? Why are people going to stay? What are they trying to learn here? What makes this different than what other people are doing? And then your opener. How are you going to open and lead this in so people go, this will be interesting. I think I'm going to watch. And then you need a story to go along with it. Story is the most powerful part of what you do. If you're not a good storyteller, you can always go to the CEO's storybank.com. ceostorybank.com, and we have a resource for you there that has a whole bunch of stories, 24 different vaults that are held of all the different kind of stories that you need as a business owner. Then you have the story. People are compelled by story. Don't just talk facts. And then the ask. What is the ask? What do you want people to do? And then how are you going to close? Now, all of this is in a script. I'll give you this script. It's called the Hollywood Icon Script, and it breaks it down and tells you exactly what to do. All you have to do is ask for it, and you can do a couple things. This is everything that you have here that we put together for you, okay, the Hollywood Icon Script, and I put together a video there for you as well, so you know exactly how to have your show and your stage built out in 4 hours. And you can just type checklist. If you're listening to this on a podcast, you can go to www.theiconicleader.com/TV show. Okay. So there's a lot of material here that we want you to have. And go ahead and grab it, because you can't do this on your own. You need to follow the steps. You need to do it in order. And then you will have no problem. You'll have the confidence and the charisma and the courage to pull this off all the time. Okay. Again, if you need our help, we are here for you. We want you to build out this, and we want you to just follow the 4-week process. And each week we're going to turn you into a triple threat. And all you have to do is reach out to us. Okay. So what are all the pieces that you need to build so that you can have the fame and the fortune and the fun when you do this? Number one is you're going to have a unique name for your show. We call our show here Iconic TV Live, and keep it short and simple and let people know what it's about. What are they going to get from that? You're going to need to know how to craft your scripts. And that's why we give you the Hollywood Icon script. And all you have to do is ask for it. And we will also put it down below and include a link so you can get that if you are watching this as a replay. And then the next thing you want to understand is you need to perfect your tech, right? So what are all the tools that you're going to need? You know, whether it's your microphone and the cameras and the lighting, these are all very vital parts. And so we break all of that down for you as well. And then live camera rehearsal. You have to practice it, okay? And test it on different audiences. Test it on different equipment. If you have different cameras and tools and microphones, and different platforms may be different. It also could be different if you are going live or recorded, okay? And some people are really afraid of live. Just go live, okay? Worst thing that happens is you can always delete it afterwards. It's not a problem, okay? Everything in the world can get erased, including really bad shows. So just move forward with it. And then we have checklists here for you. If you want these checklists to know what to do, there's different levels and how you can build out your script in a very short period of time. Because if you don't have the right script, it's not going to help you. So let me show you this. Following the script, what's all the things that you really need to make this work? And then I'm going to show you so you can write these down as quickly as possible. And some people always wonder, well, who are you? Why are you teaching this? Well, I actually started in front of the camera at age 14 and spent decades in front of the camera and started teaching people acting and as well as modeling. I was in film and TV and on stages and speaking. Used to speak just for a living and traveled all over having companies have me speak. So I understand the process from both sides of it, right? From teaching it and directing it, but also from doing it, and have made millions upon millions from it even before I could drive. So I get the process, right? So let's take a look at all of the parts that really need to come together for you in order for you to follow these steps, right? And so you're going to need to have a powerful headline. And remember, we talked about that hook and that opener, and we want to monetize the money crowd. We want you to understand how to cash in on commercials. Shows have commercials for a reason. Otherwise, they're not going to make any money, right? And then you also want to have, like, we call it a 30-30 primetime planner. You don't need to spend weeks and days and years building out your process. You can actually do it in 30 minutes. If you could build a 30-minute show and you could build it in 30 minutes, imagine how simple that would be. We also want you to understand that there's something called teachers, preachers, and features. Teachers, preachers, and features. And this is really important because a lot of people actually follow the wrong thing. There's three kind of things that you could do. You could talk about the features, you could be the teacher, and you could be the preacher. Each one has a different emphasis, and only one has the power to convert an audience. And so that's who you want to be. Lights, camera, and action is really getting the process together. And you can put all of these pieces together with the templates and everything. I'm going to give you access to all of this. If you want to, just put it down below and just put checklist, And we will get that to you, and I'll give you a link again in a few minutes. So, also, why else should you speak? Because when you master the art of speaking on your own show or on your own stage and platform, well, you actually get to tap into what we call equity share. You can leverage other people's markets, other people's platforms when you become in demand at what you do. And even if you don't like having your own show, you can always become in demand on other people's shows, other people's stages. Master your own first, then people see that you actually have what it takes to go on their channels and on their shows and on their stages. So equity share means now you don't have to do all the work, but you can actually get a share of what is being built around you. You can tap into somebody else's. You basically show up, get paid, and go home. So equity share is extremely powerful. It's another reason why you need to enhance the craft of speaking. So it's truly a win-win, right? You win because you get the results and you have the savings of not having to do all the work and put out all the resources on your own. You can tap into other people's market. So how do you build the celebrity factor? Let me summarize all of this for you in the next couple minutes. What you want to do is you have to stand out from a crowd. You have to distinguish yourself and be human in an AI-powered world. And we talked about having an invincible intro. This is how you get all eyes on you. And this is what we call the power pitch formula. This is something people don't do. Everyone's following this really boring formula. They think it works and it doesn't. The new way to capture people's attention and have them never take their eyes off of you is to master the power pitch formula. So if you don't know that, reach out to us. If you need any of these and you don't know how to build any of these pieces, please reach out to us. Go to callconnie.com. And then you need a headline to hook them. So not just one, you need a lot of different variations depending on the audience. So what we have for you is 342 done for you headlines, showstopper topics. So that way we've done all the writing for you. All you have to do is put in the name of your product or brand or yourself or the date or the time or whatever it is, and you have everything available to you. Remember, simplicity plus speed equals success. So you have to keep the process simple of building this out, or you will burn out and you won't continue. So you need to create your own 30-30 prime time planner. And that way, every week you will be consistent and not have to worry about the procrastination around building something out. If it takes you too long or it's too difficult, you won't continue, right? That's human nature. So the other thing I want you to think about is who will work behind the scenes for you. You cannot do this alone. You need a team behind you, somebody who can help you with all the different parts and pieces and help you, keep you encouraged, right? Give you the moral support and keep you focused, handle all the engagements and connections and all the little tiny details that end up making or breaking your show. And with that, you feel so much more confident and the courage is naturally there to keep moving forward. The next thing you need is a post-show audit. Think about football. In football games, right? They Monday morning quarterback it. They go back and look over the films. You need to have the same thing happen, but it can't be you. You need somebody else's eyes on it, right? And so you want to make sure that you can get fresh eyes, somebody who's experienced, who can give you the feedback that you need so you don't keep making the same mistakes, okay? These pieces are what we call the celebrity factor. It's what takes you over. It's that extra bonus that really makes you special, makes you more polished, and you don't look like a rookie, even though it might be your first few shows, right? So that's what we're calling it, right? You've got the power pitch, you need the headlines, you need a primetime planner, you need behind the scenes support, and you need a post-show audit. And if you want all of that and figure out how to get that, just type hashtag checklist wherever you're watching, and then we can get that to you. And then here's the whole system that you will be able to do in only 4 hours and become famous. You're going to name your show. We have the tools for that. Crafting your script, get the Hollywood icon script, and then perfect the tech. Wouldn't it be nice not to spend money on the wrong items or too many things? There's a lot of gadgets out there, a lot of shiny objects. You don't need all of those. Keep it simple. And then know how to do your live rehearsals so that you're not practicing the wrong thing, but you're practicing the right process. So type hashtag checklist there. You can also see here is the link that you can go to get all of this. You can go to www.theiconicleader.com/TV show, and that will get everything to you. Okay. And tools to help keep you sharp, right? And keep these. We've got templates, we've got checklists, we've got recordings. I made a separate video just for this. So you can put all of this together on your spare time. You can do it over the weekend. You can do it in an evening. And bam, next week you can have your own show and start to build that celebrity factor and become famous in just 4 hours. So how can I sweeten this a little bit for you? Hopefully you found this whole show delicious, but I want to make it even sweeter for you. And so you can get all of the tools, all of the resources, all of the checklists, everything that I showed you, get it all with a call. Book a call with us and we'll show you how to get all of these tools, all of these resources, and put it into play right away. So I want you to get started. I want you to have a 7-figure year this year. And if you're ready for that, book a call with us or just go get this whole system, right? Go get the Famous in 4 Hours system. And then next week, I want you to come back because we're going to do part 2. We're going to show you how to get heard. And your voice is going to be a powerful thing. And you just need to make sure people hear you and that your message is on target. So be iconic and be back here next Tuesday at 5 p.m. for part 2. We'll see you then.